the Bulls continue their improved play to get a win over Larry Markkinen and the Utah Jazz, in which Larry Markkinen already said he's trying to come in and cook tonight. We're going to break it all down, talk about it right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, we in the building. Bulls versus Utah Jazz tonight. As far as I know, there hasn't been any injury updates as far as Ellis Caruso and Javonte Green. I know they were listed as questionable. Give me a second. Let me check to see if we got any updates there. We're going to need all hands on deck. The Utah Jazz, they're coming in very hot. And then they have one of the hottest players in the NBA as well with Larry Markkinen, the way that he's been playing lately and this season. So we'll see how it goes for the Chicago Bulls tonight. They got to be locked in. They cannot overlook it or anything like that. If they overlook this team, if they take it lightly, if they don't come in trying to set that tone defensively like they have been, it's going to be a tough night for the Chicago Bulls. Well, let's hope that they come in, they match that intensity, they understand the moment, and they do and just take care of business the way that it needs to be done. Patrick Williams is going to be big this game as well with his defense. We'll see what happens with his offense. The defense overall is going to be highly important in this game, and we'll see which Bulls player really does get to go off in this game. So the Bulls got a big test ahead of them. Let's see how they're able to respond and if they can get a 3-game win streak going. They've won 7 out of the last 10, just quietly, slowly improving their season, and we'll see how it continues to go. It's cold in the studio today, by the way. Very cold. We got Kanan Peacock in the building. Says game day. What's going on, fam? Mr. X in the building says, hey, good to have you in the building, my brother. Damn, I searched to check if you were streaming. Hey, listen, I'm a couple minutes late, but I'm not as late as I was last night. That's for damn sure. Oh, by the way, you guys know I hate doing this, but I kind of got to. We are only 79 subscribers away from hitting our goal of 10,000 subscribers. We were over 100 yesterday. We've been hitting it that listen, you guys have been showing out, but I need you to keep showing out. Let's get to that 10K. What's up, CEO? Let's keep it going tonight, man. C-Red. Hey, it's just Haize, bro. But I do appreciate you, JC Metro. Glad to have you in the building tonight. Brandon L. Jet says, let's see if Haize read Facebook comments. Come on now, bro. You know if I see your name, I'm on it. I see your name. I didn't even know you were on YouTube. It just shows your name. I know who Brandon L. Jet is. I'm always going to support, brother. James Jamison says, going back to back. Let's hope so. Definitely hope so. Marquise Williams says, I want to see the Bulls run some plays like they did for Reggie Miller, run him off screens and give him catch and shoot. What do you think, Haize? Some plays for who? Like, who are you trying to run? Like Zach? One of the best catch and shoot players in the league? I think they need to do more things off ball like that. But the key thing in this is they just need to keep spreading the ball around. We don't have the best as far as three-point shooting teams. As far as highest volume, we're actually pretty high percentage-wise. But, this team needs to just continue moving without the ball, come off screens, come off pin downs, things like that a lot. Trim Baker says, what up, Haize? What do you think Pat's stat line is tonight? I don't know. I don't care. Just get the dub and play solid defense. I don't give you guys know this Bulls team is so up and down. I'm beyond predicting almost anything as far as number-wise for this team. But Pat, if he does get to guard Larry, it's going to be a difficult night for him on defense. So we'll see. Last time we played the Utah Jazz, it actually wasn't Pat on Larry for most of the time. They did some really weird things defensively in that game, but Pat did not. I think Pat guarded Larry on like 6 possessions total. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll see. But if Pat does get the Larry Markkinen assignment, I'm not really expecting much from him on offense. But I didn't expect much on him on offense last night when I found out he was guarding Harden, and look how that turned out. JC Metro says, love how the team is adapting. Yeah, all right, listen. Mr. X, Javonte's out, but that's what ESPN site says. ESPN, I never check ESPN on game day. They just really don't update it. Like, we'll see though. I mean, they could very well be right. I don't know for sure. Nothing's come from Bulls Twitter yet. So we'll see. Mixo's in the building, says Pat needs to shut down Larry. Man, with the way Larry's playing and the confidence, I don't know if there is any shutting down Larry, but he can force him to have an inefficient night. He definitely can't go off on us on 3 like he did last time. What up, Haize? I'm feeling a big game from P-Dub. Drew, I hope so, man. Hope so. our get back game, we lost to them already this season. Yeah, we did. And I mean, we've been pretty good on revenge games so far. It seems like except against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Can we get our revenge tonight? Jamal's in the building, said, "What up, Haize? You stay working, my brother. Everybody hit that like button." I told you guys, I am the only truly daily Chicago Bulls channel on the platform, Monday through Sunday. The only true daily one. There are some that say they're daily, and they post a lot. I'm the only one that's truly daily, and we've been doing it that way for over a year. So, hey, that's what it is. Jonathan E. just says, DeMar's going off tonight. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised, especially considering he's had some slow games. He's overdue for a big one. I would not be surprised at all if that big game comes tonight from DeMar DeRozan. That's typically what we see from him. Is that he has some slow games. He gets off the slow starts at times, but then he has that big game. And, one thing what we said on Locked on Bulls last night, I do like DeMar shooting between 15 and 18 shots per game, not the 20 that he was before. It forces him to be a better facilitator, get other players involved. But at the end of the day, we know if the game's getting close down the stretch, they're going to go to DeMar. And if he delivers, they're going to keep going to him. And, not that heavy isolation ball as your offense sucks, but when you do have a player that can be great in isolation, especially getting to the free throw line or getting the bucket, it's good, especially in crunch time. So we'll see if we see a little bit more of DeMar from DeMar in that. Let's see what we see from DeMar this game. Pat Will got to go crazy tonight. Listen, Pat, if he's guarding Lowry, he just got to own that defensive assignment. Do that first. I ain't worried about the offense if that happens. We operating inside out like last night again. I mean, that needs some, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, that doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. I think the Bulls that needs to be their play style day in and day out. That's my opinion. Does that mean that that's what they're going to do? Absolutely not. Billy Donovan don't know who I am, just like he doesn't know who Marko Simonovic is. But I would say that I would like to see that. I would like to see the team make the effort and the focus to keep going to Vooch, especially when it's working out. If it isn't working, you do some other things. But I do think that the Bulls' baseline offense needs to be ran through Vooch, and then you can make some alterations on that based on things. But the thing in this game, they got Walker Kessler, they got Kelly Olynyk as their centers. Those are two tough, physical centers. Even Walker Kessler, being in his rookie year, has come along really well this season defensively. It could be a long night for Vooch, and that's what we need other players to step up. So let's see. Yo, Haize, I feel like DeMar and Zach are finally realizing lately that P. Will can help them out, and they're gaining confidence in him. It seems like there's been an effort to get everybody involved in general. So, yeah, I think that the team is trying to get everybody involved. They're trying to move the ball around. They're trying to have one of those offenses where, and we said this before, Billy Donovan said this at the start of the season. Ideally, this team needs to be the team that every starter is in double digits and they have over 30 assists per game. And when they do that, they have been successful. That dates back to even last season. When they do those things, they find success. That's the way this team needs to play. I'm nervous, never scared. Let's hoop, baby. I heard that, Rue. Glad to have you in the building, bro. If the front office would have done a good job, they would have had Lonzo, LaMelo, LaVine, Caruso, DeRozan, Marketing, Sagun, Wendell. No, they never would have had all those players. Never. And keep in mind, you're mixing together two different front offices, but no, that never would have happened. Keep in mind, most of those players that we didn't draft, it wasn't about the Bulls not doing a good job. The lottery just didn't go in their favor. Markin would have never stayed here. Well, if you didn't have Boylan, maybe. Sengun, okay. But the Bulls would have never had all those players. Haize, I wonder what has made us pass the ball more lately. Did Billy finally get through to everyone? Our ball movement on offense is so different than what it was early in the season. I think that Minnesota, that whatever happened at the halftime, and then combination of Billy, and then I do think the players did have some pride and they got tired of losing. And in that, what are you going to do? You can keep trying to do the thing that you've been doing, that's playing hero ball that was causing you to lose, or you can try to start trusting your teammates, try to start moving without the ball, try to start getting other players involved, empowering and strengthening other players' confidence. That's what we're seeing in this. Ayo and Patrick Williams are probably playing with the most confidence they've had this season for sure, and with Patrick Williams probably the most in his career. And the big homie says, what up, Haize? I've been a Bulls fan since 87 and honestly don't remember a team this Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. No, that last year with Scott Skiles was equally, and that's the season I keep. No, is that the season I keep comparing the Bulls? Was that 07-08 too? That team was very up and down. There were times where that team looked great. There were times where that team couldn't beat. It was very up and down. That 07-08 team is very similar to this team. We beat Utah last time. Yeah, we beat them last time. Oh, that's right, we did beat them, but Laurie killed us. Yeah, Laurie killed us, but we beat them. We need Felicio back? Never. Never. We need another 20 plus. No, and see, that's the thing. I don't go into games thinking we need any type of point output. Because if somebody would have told you a couple of games ago that Zach LaVine would have only taken 11 shots and the Bulls would have won, that's not last game, the game before, I think that was, people wouldn't have even believed it. So I'm not coming in expecting any. I want them to play well, play on defense, let the game come to them, feed the hot hand. Whatever player gets in rhythm, keep going to that player and riding the hot hand. But I'm not going to come in here and say we need any specific number from any player. We just need everybody to play well. Matt says we need to control the boards tonight. That's been a big key as well for the Chicago Bulls. If it weren't for Boyle and Laurie, wouldn't have given up on the team. I can't believe this dude was head coach. Those were truly dark times. He killed Laurie's confidence, slowly but surely. And I mean, shout out to Zach LaVine, who steady got and became a more efficient player over that time. But he killed like all the young players' confidence. He didn't develop anybody, right? So yeah, I mean, it definitely does suck. Quick question. If we didn't have Zach LaVine this season, you think we'd have a similar record as right now? Oh, it'd be much worse. Much worse. I want to see clips of Zach working with DeMar and dribble too much next offseason. The fact he's a legit 3-level scorer with that quick of a first step handle would really take his game to the next level. Zach has a good handle. It's just in crunch time, he does that bounce it off his leg and foot thing that drives crazy. But I think Zach has a nice handle, in my opinion. I've seen Zach do some really good things handle-wise. But, I mean, you can always refine, right? That doesn't mean you can't refine anything. What's up, Haize? This team is so opposite of last. Don't be shocked if we go off during the second half of the season and rise up the ranks. That one's from 626. We got 2 Jamals in the building now. We got 6266 Jamal, and we got just Jamal. So, but shout out to Jamal for that. And I agree with you, bro. Let's see. I mean, it's set up for the Bulls that way. The Bulls have the easiest schedule remaining in the NBA till now to the end of the season. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. With Vanderbilt being a trade target, will you focus on his play to see if he can fit on this? Oh, I already been watching Vanderbilt's play. Vanderbilt can fit on any roster. Vanderbilt is a big who can play the 3 or the 4, who can guard probably 3, maybe even 4 positions depending on the player. Shot, not really. They say he's a 3-and-D guy, but he only takes 1 3-pointer per game. But yeah, Jared Vanderbilt can fit on the roster. That's not any question at all. The Come Up Podcast says people care about points too much. If all the players play their game and get the win, who cares how many points an individual scores? And I agree with you. The Come Up Podcast, I 100% agree with you. But the sad point is there are some people, even in wins, will look at the stat sheet and be like, oh, DeMar only scored 14 points. He had a terrible game. It's like, you got to watch the game to really decide that, yeah, you can have a bad shoot night and still play a good overall game, right? And that points are for casuals. That's something that casuals look at and focus on a lot. Basketball fans and people who really break down the game look more at how you got those points. How efficiently did you score them, right? That's what we look at. The points are a result of overall play. Some people look at the points and try to determine their play based off the points. That's just a casual basketball fan mind. Will Laurie get another great first half against us? I mean, listen, let's hope he has a bad game overall and we get the victory. But if it comes with Laurie going off and us still winning, so be it. One of the top 3 gets hot. It opens up the game for everyone else. Last night's game was a perfect example. Oh, for sure. As long as they're still playing team basketball, for sure. I would love for Drummond to have a good game. Billy doesn't trust him for some reason. He can make some low IQ plays, but I think he still gets minutes. He's out of shape or something. Is he out of shape or something? No, that's just who Andre Drummond is, Jamal. He's always been that player. He's always like, it's up and down. You gotta know when to pull him, right? You gotta know when, okay, This isn't a game for Dre. But the way that he rebounds is still crazy. My favorite day, Kill Lori Day. Glad to be here with you all. What's going on, Marcus Couch? Glad to have you in the building, brother. Curse Frog says, "What up, Held? What up, Frogie?" No, what's going on, fam? I just got to give you some shit since you misspelled my name. Instead of looking at points, you have to look at how many shots they took as well to know if they played bad offensively. Agreed. 100% agree with you. Is there any injuries for the Jazz except Sexton? Not when I looked at it earlier today. Give me 1 second. Let me check. Nope, just Colin Sexton still listed on the injury report. So they are basically fully healthy and ready to go. We better not let Larry Bird's son go off tonight. Hey, man, listen, let him go off if it still comes in a win. Do you still watch the G League? Any updates on Marco, Terry, Hill, etc.? Yeah, I watch every G League game. I may not always watch it right away, but I watch every G League game. Marco, but the thing is, I said this at the beginning of the season. This is why I gave G League updates on Terry, not Marco. Terry hasn't really been playing in the G League here the last couple of games, but Marco always looks good in the G League. There's nothing left for to determine, to seeds, for him to learn anything in the G League. That's why it's so weird that he's down there. I guess they want him to get reps versus not getting anything, but Marco always looks good. Always looks good. Drummond has been battling shoulder aches and pains. I think Billy is watching his minutes. That's a good point, too. And he did say that, not this past game, but the game before, that's why Drummond didn't play. Who off the bench not named Kobe do you think will be impressive? Derrick Jones Jr. He's like, the minutes that DJJ has been giving us this season have been great. I love seeing the way that DJJ plays his game. I think about that Lou Dirt take that y'all brought over on Locked On all day, bro. Not gonna lie. Hey, I'm glad we're glad to give you something to think about, right? That's what we're here for. If you leave an episode of any show that I do and it doesn't at least have you thinking a little bit, I don't feel like I did my job. Do you watch the game on NBA League Pass? Yes, I do. Could this be the start of something special for Zach after his performance last night? Zach's been playing good overall. And that's the thing. Zach's been having a special season in a way because defensively, it's probably some of the best defense Zach has played over a sustained period of time that I've ever seen. Passing-wise, he's been making some really good decisions and getting other players involved, looking to kind of set other players up and get his offense going afterwards. So that's Zach is starting to build confidence, right? Zach is starting to feel more comfortable. We talked about it after the game, just saying that, the bucket looked like the ocean to him. After he started dropping a couple of shots. That's a player that's getting their confidence. And if Zach gets going and gets in rhythm, I tell you what, that's a dangerous, dangerous man. I literally read your guys' comments. What are you talking about? Well, maybe that's not what you're responding to. Maybe I missed something. Why don't we play Marco in your opinion? It has to be that he's not grasping the system. That's the only thing that I can think of. Reginald Short, do you think Drummond will opt out after this year? Too early to tell yet. Too early to tell. Jack Jones, why is Tony Bradley on the team? Every team has players on the end of the bench that suck, that don't play. Every single team. Haize, do you see our team resembling the early 2000 Kings in terms of our play style and Vooch as our C? Oh no, listen, that's it's hard to compare eras. That's a completely different era of basketball. And so no, I don't see us resembling that team at all because that's a completely different, much slower, much more isolation and pick and roll based than what we'll ever see in the NBA today. That was me that brought up Lou Dirt that got it started. That's funny. He has no choice. He live in that stink. Oh, hey. First of all, Steve-O. First of all, you really want to start this? This is what you want to do? This is what you got for me? I'm not from here. I ain't got no hate on it. I don't care what you say about the state. I didn't write that, Haize. Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what? Jack Jones says DeRozan needs to see that LaVine is the go-to guy. Give LaVine confidence early on and get his later in the game. Listen, I mean, the thing is, I like Zach setting up the other players first, right? But it does have to come with, I think you got to get Zach going because Zach is a much more versatile scorer than DeMar ever has been and ever will be. But we need Zach to be consistent in the shots that he takes as well and do it pretty good. Haize, what is our realistic ceiling if Lonzo comes back and our ceiling if he doesn't? Well, here's the greatest. I think even if Lonzo Ball does come back this season, he doesn't raise our ceiling too much. I think if Lonzo were to come back this season, most of it is going to be him getting back in rhythm. And being a year out of basketball, I don't see him having games and things where he makes a huge impact. I think his defense is probably going to be the thing that gets going and getting back on track first. But the shooting, things like that, the rhythm things, it takes a minute to get that back. So I don't think this season, Lonzo coming back raises our ceiling too much this season. But a healthy Lonzo and a healthy team next season with some improvements, I mean, the sky's the limit with this team. And also, hell's the floor because we know that this team can suck at times. Love the content, Haize. I heard Auntie earlier going off on the earlier podcast. Yeah, Auntie be going off, and I love it. That's why I really just play. What's good, Haize? Just woke up from a nap, hoping to win, and for someone to put Laurie on a poster. Ooh, Laurie on a poster. Today was my first time looking at the NBA standings, and it is crazy. I believe we can get to the 6 if we keep playing like this. I mean, the East is tight, right? And what is it right now between the Bulls are actually the 9th seed. Shout out to the Bulls. Between the 9th seed and the 4th seed is only 6.5 games. So, I mean, anything's really still possible this season. What's going on, Ben Paul? Glad to have you in the building. We can use a big game from the Dragon. I agree with that. DJJ is good to go tonight. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. PB and Pat says when Zach attacks the basket, opens up everything and make it harder for the team to figure us out completely. When you have a player that can be as versatile in their scoring as Zach LaVine, and you have other players that are playing well as also, it's difficult to guard that. What up, Haize? What are your keys to the game, my man? The best pregame, halftime, and postgame show on the market. Like it up, people. Thank you for that. Rebounding, moving the ball, playing solid defense. That's it. Everything else kind of works itself out in the game. If the Bulls do that thing, they rebound well, they move the ball efficiently, keep the turnovers down, and play a solid brand of defense and set the tone defensively, the offense usually takes care of itself. But that's the keys to the Bulls winning. I like the pin downs, off ball screens for Zach. He's a way better shooter as a catch and shoot, in my opinion. And Steve-O, there's something that me and you've been talking about as well. Once Zach LaVine learns to pick his spots a little bit better in rhythm and shooting the ball effectively and attacking the basket, listen, be prepared for Zach to get a close to 30-point per game season if he starts doing those things effectively. What up, Haize? What do you think, Jokic? Do you think Jokic will fit on this roster? Just want to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah, but it's a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. Or by the time he comes here, he won't be the Jokic we see now. Would you trade Caruso and Javonte Green for Crowder and a FRP? I just saw it as what's a FRP? First round pick. Why type FRP instead of 1ST? This is why do that. Why you making it difficult on me, bro? Why don't you like me, man? No, I'm just playing. No, not for Crowder. No, I wouldn't give up both those players. Both those players are too important to our energy and defense for just Crowder. Wouldn't do it. Now, Kobe, the Portland pick, maybe. But I'm not giving up Caruso and Javonte for just Jay Crowder in the first round pick. Bulls need to keep giving more opportunities for P. Will and Kobe. They're massive keys to us getting better. Love your work. Tim Andrews from Australia. He's left it again. Thank you, brother, first for checking me out from the land down under. Yeah, I mean, the Bulls' future very much so is Io, P. Will, and Kobe right now. Dalen Terry as well, but we know Dalen Terry is probably not going to play a lot this season. Marco, I wish we could say Marco, but we don't even know if Billy Donovan knows who the hell Marco Simonovic is. But yeah, they're very big keys to what the Bulls need to do, and they need to continue to empower them and put them in positions for them to use their skill set that they have. Charles Jennings in the building says, what will it take for us to be more confident going forward? Our biggest issue is playing as a team and for each other. You said it. Play as a team and for each other. You answered your own question there. I don't mean that sarcastically. I just mean like I agree with what you said. You were spot on there. With the past 2 games and hopefully a lot more in the future, what would you rank the Bulls in the East? I mean, it's way too. I can't base it off. Like, I'm too analytical to try to base it off 2 games. I will say over the last 10 games, right? Since we've been 7-3, that's a nice sample size of our play. With our play style, and if we rebound the ball well and keep going to Vooch, I say we can be 5th or 6th in the East, especially if everything started today, right? Meaning starting over, and the Bulls were playing like this to start the season. I definitely think they can get a 5th or 6th seed. I don't know if they can catch back up now just because of the slow start. And even though the East is tight, there are a lot of teams with momentum, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what I think on it. Haize, do you think the Bulls organization is actually looking for a championship or just to stay competitive? I think definitely the goal is to eventually get to championship level, but it takes time to get there. Championship teams are rarely built in one day unless you're trading for a bunch of superstars. So I do think that that's the goal. They have their method of getting there that may not come as fast as what some Bulls fans would hope or would like for it to come. Me included in that, because I would love for the Bulls to be a championship team right now. Sorry, I thought I just heard something. About to fuck somebody up. Hey, Haize, just hopping on. Will Devontae Caruso be playing tonight? I do not know, and I don't think there's been any update yet. Give me 1 second. Yeah. I don't see any updates on that. Austin says, like the stream, so close to 10K. We are almost at our goal at 10K, and I can taste it. Like we are 78 away from being at 2K. I mean 10K. 78 away. Marvin in the building says, come on, guys. The Bulls are not trading DeMar or Vooch. Let's not give up on the plan. The Bulls are trending upward, even better than last year, guys. I wouldn't necessarily say they're trending that way, but I don't think that I don't think that it's 100% certain that the Bulls don't move on from either Vooch or DeMar at the trade deadline. I do think that AK and Eversley may see this team and see that the ceiling of this team right now is at best a 5th seed, at best. And if another team, a contending team, has something that the Bulls want and they want a DeMar or they want an expiring contract Vooch, I wouldn't say that it's guaranteed that they don't move on from either of them. But I'm still not saying that it's a certain thing either, that that's something that's for sure going to happen. Haize is the best Bulls broadcaster on YouTube. DeRozan needs to realize Zach is that guy. Well, thank you for that, Mike. And hey, listen, Zach can be that guy, but it's also up to Zach to continue playing like that guy. Haize will get close and make like 20 people mad, and they unsub. They can't take the heat. I mean, listen, I make people mad all the time. It is what it is. I don't know, bro. Jokic have the game to play for how long he wants. He just can't hurt his back feet or back. Those big man killers. Yeah, lower leg injuries for big men and back injuries are it. Hey, we'll see. MCC's not finna lie. I'm pretty high right now. For some reason, you're giving me Leprechaun Back to the Hood vibes. What? That's not a funny joke, MCC's. You gotta do better than that. Marvin says, I did leave you a voicemail. I'll get it on tomorrow's mailbag, bro. I got you. Jamal says, it may be hard to be objective, but do you think we are better than the Pacers and the Knicks? I'm not sure, but that's why we need to retool a bit, shooting for the 6th seed in the East like last year. The Pacers, I do think we can. I think with the way the team's playing right now, they're better than the Pacers. The Knicks, man, listen, I'll tell you. When Brunson's going, man, that team, it doesn't look dangerous in the sense where I'm not worried about them like making an ECF or anything, but that's a tough team, man. That's a tough team. Do you see Dalen gaining enough muscle mass to play the 3 in the future? Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, look at Derrick Jones Jr. He plays the 4, and I think Dalen Terry already outweighs Derrick Jones Jr. So he has the length. Once the game comes to him, Dalen Terry is going to be one of those players that can guard the 2, 3, and 4 for sure. Brendan L. Jet says Curry can easily play until he's 40 as long as his ankles hold up. Hey, we'll see. Jack in the building says, hey, man, been watching your videos daily since the season started and you never reply. I guess I'm new to your channel. I guess I'm new, but your channel is the real deal. Well, thank you, Jack. And honestly, bro, I have never even noticed one of your. I'm sorry. I don't mean that to be rude. Like, there's a lot of comments. I don't miss people on purpose. I promise. But I'm glad to have you here. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And thank you for being a member of the community. I'll do a better job of looking out for you going forward. Hey, the Jazz are 8-14 on the road, 8-15 after the night. Bulls are finding their stride. Bet Pat goes crazy tonight. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh, this is a great question. Do you think the Bulls, if the Bulls keep playing like this, they would be a play-in team or play-off team? I mean, I think they can be a playoff team, but like I said before, it really depends on how the other teams play in these. The Bulls have gotten themselves out to a big deficit. They've already risen up from being 11th at one point. Were they as low as 12th at one point to being the 9th? Anything's possible with how tight the East is. Anything is possible. Degrader says, I feel like Vooch is having a very underrated season. All-star caliber for a center, 17 and 11 on 51, 37, 85 shooting splits. I know 4 front court spots are gone, but is there enough room for him to sneak in? I don't think the Bulls are having this success for him to sneak in. I just don't. I don't. I would like for him to, though. And a grown man being in the chat looking for attention with that hairline that you have there, bro, that ain't it, man. That ain't it. That's all I can tell you on that. Your mama failed you, bro. Yo, Haize, just started work on break right now. Been laid off for 3 months. This motivation I needed, plus the recent play of the Bulls. Content soon. Damn, bro. I'm sorry to hear that you've been laid off for 3 months, bro. Hey, you got to find your motivation where you can, bro. And hey, listen, creating content has always been my safe place, man. So do what you got to do. Yeah, we gotta shut down these dumb people. It's just dumb. All bad hairlines. Timothy looked like he collected individual Arizona cans. That's funny. Suns made LeBron walk out. That's crazy. My boy Carlick going off last night. I mean, G League stuff does nothing to me. What's up, man? What's going on, JDH? Glad to have you in the building, brother. Charles Jennings, I appreciate you showing the passion you carry for our Chicago Bulls. I wanted to get some advice for you about starting my own podcast. Could really use some, especially since I'm blind and limited. Well, Charles, hit me up, bro. Hit me up. You can definitely send anything to the email, man. I got you. Greetings from Germany. Hey, grew up in Germany. Greetings from Germany. Being a Bulls fan here means watching games at 2 a.m. I know that struggle. So your show really makes it way more entertaining. Just wanted to thank you for that. Well, thank you, Umi. I grew up in Germany as well, Mannheim, Germany to be exact. So I know the pain of trying to watch sports teams when you live overseas. It's rough. It's rough. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We're going to get ready to watch the game. Appreciate you guys so much for everything that you do. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We're on our way to 10K. We're less than 80 subscribers away from hitting that goal. So make sure you guys tune in. I love you guys so much, man. I'll see you guys at halftime. Like I like to end everything on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. See you, Red, y'all.